Hello guys, welcome back to Potans War. Today we will look at these Victrix Dark Age plastics. We will look at the sprues themselves, how they match with the other Dark Age ranges from other manufacturers, and the elephant in the room, how they fit on the bases. They are the range which doesn't came in the box, but instead in these plastic bags with just the carton at the top. You can buy this 60 miniatures big bag, where are two sprues for command and 6 for infantry. Or you can buy even the skirmish set, which is basically half of it. So three infantry sprues and 1 command sprue. Problem with Victrix, I have up until now I have just their Napoleonic kits, is that they don't have pretty good instructions. To be honest, one of the worst in the market, but that kind which comes with these plastic bags is, well, I could say terrible, because you have just this code for parts, and that's it. There is these 5 bodies, they could have something from these 20 arms and just put it together some way. So it could be better to have some sort of diagrams to know what we wear, because to be honest, it's sort of, it's plastic kit, but it has sorts of metal or 3D printed miniatures vibe, because they are so distinctive pose that you don't have really many options, and basically you have body which could have something like 2-3 poses to the top, and you need to find the poses at the sprue and guess what will work, or just try some dry putting together and see if it fits or not before you glue it. It's not really good experience. So on the infantry sprue, we have these 4 armoured bodies in mail, usable for the more wealthy or professional soldiers in the Saxon army, or usable as nobles. As you can see, you have these 2 bodies without head, as usual for these plastic kits, and you have the heads classically there, but they are two guys with funny looking half of the heads, and you just put the helmet on there. I was a little skeptic, being, well, you can say conservative miniature builder, because it's something I never saw before. I have some plastic kits that have extra heads, but you still have the head, and you put the head on the head itself, not these, you could say, split up heads. But I understand why it's there, because you have these hoods, or the male hoods, and when you put the helmet there as extra bit, you don't have any awkward gaps there or mold lines or anything, and after all, it's really good detail. It's probably better than have the head as extra bit and then have the awkward gap at the neck. I built few of the guys for this unboxing review, and when you look at them, at the first sight you can't really spot which was with the glued helmet and which was without it. So it was this one. It's there some mini gap how the helmet fit, but nothing you could filled with some putty. And from the front it fits great, so there is really no issue with it. So we have these 4 armored bodies, 2 with crosses, 2 without. And then there are these unarmored, 3 really unarmored bodies, and this one guy with, I don't know, some sort of padded gambison. When I looked at the Victrix side where it's painted, it looks like something like that. I'm no expert at Anglo Danes or Late Saxons details of the armor, but to be honest, I never saw it before in any artwork, and not really sure what it is. If I didn't saw it painting at the Victrix side, I would assume it's some sort of the weird, you could say, leather lameral-ish stuff you would see on the Vikings TV show or Last Kingdom, but it should be some sort of painted armor. Of course, there are these 3 other bodies. Even there, you can see that you have 2 types of bodies. One with their shoulders and, I don't know, third of the arm, and some without the shoulders. So you have 2 sets of arms, and some fit somebody, some fit the other type of body. So you need to take a look and check the code numbers to see if the body would fit. And at the first sight, you will also see that the pose are, well, really striking. So you see that this guy, the torso, it's really in the spin, and it's distinctive poses, and it's up to you to decide if it's good, because it's not boring pose or anything, but it's really liveful. Or if you, well, on the other side, hate it because you can't really build some sort of shield wall or something from these kids, because everybody is in the middle of some movement, like, because everybody is in some sort of mid-movement photo shoot, and it looks like still from the movie, which is, well, great for the pictures, but it gives you this weird action movie vibe from the model, so it's up to you if you like it or not. You will have all assortment of spears and javelin and swords. There are no hand axes. Victrix said it's because if you want them, you could buy their Viking box or plastic bag, which I think is not the best solution from them, because if I'm not wrong, the Vikings have only the big 60 figures pack, so if you want axes, they tell you to go and buy 60 miniatures for these arms bit, which is sort of the move, I think, from my perspective, but okay. So you have 8 guys on the sprues, and for them you have 8 round shields, some bigger, some smaller, and 3 kite shields. But each of the 3 kite shield is sort of different. There is this small teardrop, this one bigger with edges, both are flat, and there is this one which is this round half circle type. To be honest, the bodies have sharp details. They're looking really great from the sculpting perspective. You could see that the male is really well sculpted, and it would be probably joy to paint because of all these edges. It should probably be easy to paint. Great are also the heads, with full of facial expressions. Of course, you could argue that all the faces are too much full of character and shouting, but I don't see it as, you could say, bad thing. There are also some heads without any headgear, so pretty useful for some conversions on the other bodies you have, because these angry bearded guys could be used for basically anything. So this is the infantry sprue. I built a couple of guys for the unboxing because I was really excited how it will all will be easy to put together, and it wasn't that hard as I was afraid. But as you can see, you have on each sprue you have one of this body, and there is basically no variety how you could build this guy with his pose. So he will basically always be in this pose, and you can just swap the spear for the sword, but you will have it cloned as it would be, we could say, resin printed or metal model. But when you take a look at him, it's really a model full of details, and you see all these spaces which will be really easy to paint using some speed paint, contrast, or washes. It would be pretty easy to paint, which is good when you are buying this by the 60s. But basically you buy one of these, well, not boxes but bags, but you have a full army for Saga or Lion Rampant or other skirmishes. Oh, and this poor fella lost his shield. So I will take this one instead, but can you see on the mail that the details are amazing? The extra big helmet is not really an issue once you glue it. I was really sort of afraid, but it went well. But also, if you look at this guy in the, we could say something of sort of T-shaped post, he will always be in some sort of this posture. He will have spear or sword and will be pointing it up to sky, and well, that's it. He will never have any other pose because of the Victrix sculpting doing them in this action posing. And maybe you notice that the bases are really big, and I'm afraid that they are not really usable for some sort of rank and file games, using them on square bases for formations, because this fella is, well, in his pose you can see that he is the torso really an oblique, so he can fit the 2 centimeters square base. But when we took this guy, okay, he can also fit, but he will fit the base, but you can see that the shield and stuff like that is outside of the base space itself, so he will bump to the other figures who will be next to him, and I'm starting to see the hiccups there. And if we take this guy, his base is clearly too big when you put him in the position which he should have in some sort of shield war or something, and it's by quite huge chunk. Probably if we take a closer look, it would be possible to sub it off and fit him somewhere, but it's not really good sign that you need to shade off the bases from your miniatures to fit them on the actual bases. But of course, with 225mm round, there is basically no problem. So if you want to use them for Saga or some other skirmish set like that, there is no issue that they are on round bases, and on in shield wall formations there is basically no issue. but it's worth mentioning, I think. So, and now let's take a look at how they fit size-wise with the other manufacturers. So I have this late Roman infantryman from Gripping Bees in plastic. You can see that this Saxon guy is, well, giant. Real giant next to him. And if we took this one, they are huge. I saw that people were complaining that these Dark Age Victrix models are more like 32mm than 28mm, but seeing it in person, they are, well, really huge. So, looking at this Gripping Beast metal Dark Age figure, they are okay scaled. Yes, this works way better than the plastic ones. So, that was Gripping Bees, plastic and metal. Now, this is VnV Miniatures Resin Varangian Guardsman. And, well, they fit also okay. You could see that the Victrix has way bigger heads. It has this sort of bobblehead style that is usual on Games Workshop or some of Warlord Games models, but nothing terrible and not working. You could see that the VnV is way better. You could see that the VnV miniature model is in way better proportions and stuff, but, well, you could say that about many companies when you compare it. Now, I think they are okay to fill in the same army, and I would say even in same unit. I wouldn't say that about the Gripping Beaks plastics. As you can see, it's striking. But 3 foot apart on the battlefield, I think it's still okay to use. And at the end, we will look at these Footsore miniatures metals. And they also feel okayish. You could see that the Victrix guy is, well, still much bulkier and half head bigger, but it's nothing that terrible, and I think it's still usable to fill together. So I hope this quick review was useful to you, and if it was, so feel free to like, subscribe, share and comment, and if you want to see them painted, stay tuned or take a look at my Instagram, where there will hopefully will be there soon painted. Bye.